Welcome in today on HHS TV, a first look at the Mr. Harriton 2016-2017 contestants, a preview of this basketball season, as well as a former student who's suing a company. That's all right now, live from the Harriton High School television studio in Rosemont, Pennsylvania. This is the Ram Report.
Hello, I'm Ben Feldman.
Along with Nick Merriam.
For today's Ram Report, we'll begin today with an early look at Harriton's most popular event, Mr. Harriton. The contestants have been chosen and practices have begun. Let's meet the 2016 Mr. Harriton contestants.
I am going to be the best Mr. Harriton ever. I applied because I want to have fun.
A fun fact about me is I have 50% political campaign success rate.
Because my life is dope and I do dope stuff.
I'm excited to be Mr. Harriton. I have a purebred Havanese dog. His name's Chavo. He's a small breed, very soft and very easy to pet and stuff. I don't know what else to say.
It's a great group of guys, so I've known my whole life, and I think it's a really good group of personalities.
I want to put on a good show and hopefully not look like a buffoon in front of the whole school.
Super excited to be Mr. Harriton because the group of guys is awesome. Super pumped.
Well, I don't wear shoes for more than 3 hours a day, on any day. Yeah.
Because this is a completely new experience and it's very exciting and it's very different from what I'm normally doing. Kind of. I still do theater, but you get the gist.
Jack Mendelson, Penn State University. Fun fact about me, I'm a Libra, but I identify more as a Gemini.
I can't believe we're less than 3 months away.
A former Harriton student is suing a sports equipment manufacturer for defects in helmets that left her with a lasting damage. Melina Avery was a star goalie on the Harriton girls lacrosse team before she was struck in the front of the head in an April 2014 home game. The lawsuit filed in November claims that as a result of defects in the helmet that Melina was wearing, she was left suffering serious and permanent injuries. Specifically, the lawsuit states that the helmet failed to meet minimum safety guidelines set by the National Operating Committee on Standards for Athletic Equipment. The committee found that the helmet failed certain impact tests due to insufficient padding. Avery is seeking both compensatory and punitive damages.
Lower Merion School District has hired Architera PC to construct campus wayfinding signs here at Harriton. The cost for the signage is set to be under $10,470.
Niche.com has come out with its annual survey of schools. This year, Harriton got 4th best in the state with an A+ in every category except diversity, where Harriton got a B+. Lower Merion was 5th best in the state and got a B in diversity. Number 1 on the list was Pennsylvania was Conestoga. The district as a whole is considered the 8th best nationally.
As the weather outside cools, winter sports are heating up. Here is our own Ricky Sayer with a preview of the Harriton boys basketball season.
And I think last year we just didn't have an identity.
That's what Coach Rappaport's trying to change in his 10th year as coach of the Harriton boys basketball team.
Start by chasing. Start by chasing here.
After a 9-14 season last year, Coach Rapp decided to change things up.
And we're getting back to the way we played a few years ago, to this sort of scrappy, exciting team that goes, full bore all the time.
Coach told me that every team has an identity, and that as a small team, this is the way they have to play.
It's just a whole new ballgame. I think our attitude is very different. We have guys that are really buying in, and we've kind of changed our identity.
I asked Coach how specifically they would play scrappy on defense.
We press, we trap in the half court and the full court. We want to really put pressure on the other team. We don't want them to be able just to set it up and dump it to their bigger guys, and we want to take charges and really force the team into some mistakes that hopefully we can take and transition into the offensive end. And Kevin Sanchez is emerging as our top defender and really doing a great job of guarding the post and the perimeter.
I just try really hard. I put a lot of effort into it, and as long as I'm scrapping and playing hard as I can, I believe we can win. I try to, expand my fundamentals. I try to do everything. It's like listening to the coach, everything they say. I'm not that tall, but I do play hard, so I just try to play hard.
The offensive side of the ball was led by senior Willis Basto, who led the team in scoring last year with an average of 18 points per game.
As an offensive player, just try to just take what the defense gives me. I feel like I'm a dual threat. I can if you back off me, I'm going to pull the three, give it in your mid.
He's a trip threat.
If you play up on me, I'm going to blow by you and get a bucket. That's what I'm going to do. And then just get my guys involved. Guy steps up, dump it off, hit my guys in the corner for threes or dump it off below. Do whatever we got to do to win.
Basto is one of 3 seniors on the squad, along with Kevin Sanchez and Idris Ransom.
As a leader, just be as vocal as I can. Get some of the younger guys. We got Lance, a freshman. Just trying to get those guys where they need to be, do what they got to do. What I mean? Just be as vocal as I can. Just lead by example also, and set the tone ultimately.
You probably heard there what Will calls the team's motto.
So basically, HOS is basically, I'd say it's our team motto. So basically, HOS, you look up the Spanish translation, Spanish to English just means facts. So basically, that's what we say, HOS.
Reporting for HHS TV, I am Ricky Reports.
In local news, a man was struck and killed by a motorist in Penn Valley on Friday. The 72-year-old Philadelphia resident was walking east on the south side of Writers Mill Road when at around 6:40 p.m. a vehicle struck the man before driving away. After being discovered by another motorist, the man was taken to Lincoln Hospital, where he was pronounced dead as a result of injuries sustained in the crash. Police are actively searching for the driver in the hit and run. Police say the vehicle may have damage to passenger front bumper and the front windshield and front passenger side panel. If you have any information regarding the crash, contact the Lower Merion Police Department.
Comcast officially changed the name of the tower currently being built in Philadelphia from the Comcast Innovation and Technology Center to, more simply, the Comcast Technology Center. The 60-story tower, when completed in the upcoming year, will be the tallest tower in Philadelphia. It will hold loft-like office spaces, a Four Seasons hotel, and TV studios for NBC 10. Last year, our own Ricky Sayer discovered an engineering document that indicated that Comcast is planning on building a third tower in the city. Previously, Comcast and Liberty Property Trust bought property across the street from their tower that is still being constructed.
Our friends down Ithan Avenue are on top of college basketball. The Villanova Basketball team is currently ranked number 1 in the nation. They have not lost a game so far this season.
Penn State beat 6th seed Wisconsin on Saturday, winning the Big Ten championship. Penn State was down 28-7 at one point, but came all the way back to win 38-31. Many are angered that although Penn State won, they won't be going to the playoffs. Their next game will be the Rose Bowl, January 2nd against USC.
Now on to national news. In Standing Rock, North Dakota, it seems as though the water protectors have won the battle, as the Army Corps announced Sunday that it will not permit drilling under the Missouri River. This victory is not definitive, as the energy company is running the Dakota Access Pipeline can still sue to overturn the decision. There has also been reason to believe that under President Trump, the pipeline will be allowed to continue regardless of the decision of the Army Corps.
The recount efforts in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania have been withdrawn by the Jill Stein campaign. Donald Trump is now unchallenged as president-elect. The final score of the Electoral College map came to a score of 306 to 232 Electoral College votes.
Donald Trump has been working on his cabinet. Since the last RAM report, Trump has picked General James Mad Dog Mattis as his Secretary of Defense. Mattis led troops in Iraq and was the supreme allied commander of NATO for the part of the Obama administration. Mattis is one of Trump's least controversial picks. Dr. Ben Carson has also been chosen as the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Carson was a former Trump rival in the primaries and would go on to support Trump in the cycle.
And finally, today marks the 75th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. In World War II, the United States was pushed to enter the war after the Japanese Navy Air Service launched a surprise attack on the U.S. naval base in Honolulu. 2,403 American non-combatants were killed, and 1,178 others were injured. The United States would enter the war on December 8, 1941, or 75 years tomorrow. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt had this to say to the country.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory.
And that'll be all for today's show. If you have a news tip, send it our way. Signing off, this is Nick Merriam.
And Ben Feldman.
For all of us here at HHS TV, thanks for watching the Ram Report.